What's going on, big dogs? I know I'm a little sweaty. I just got home from work. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm in the garage, so I'm probably gonna sound real echoey. Oh, let me turn my camera too. Some people told me I need to record this way. But anyway, yeah, I went to the gym after work, just got home. Wanted to make a video because I haven't made one in a while. I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about, to be honest with you. So here it is. Yeah, I started smoking. Black and bottles, of course, because I'm black. But anyway, uh, yeah, started smoking because I was stressed from marriage. No excuse, but anyway, I guess I'll talk some more about the Marine Corps since that seems to be a hot topic nowadays on YouTube. Or maybe it's because I talk about it, and that's why I see a lot of those videos like on like recommended or whatever. But anyway, let's see. Some Marines were just talking to me about this today, actually. A couple of my Marines, they were just wondering how things are or can be perceived or viewed as skewed or unfair in the Marine Corps. And I never really understood that. Like some Marines are given opportunities. It could be something small too, like one thing I can use for example is McMap. Let's say a Marine has gotten in trouble or they've had a couple of hiccups at work. I've seen this before where some Marines will be afforded the opportunity to do McMap and others won't. Because they're not viewed in a positive light. And, shit like that is not fair. The one thing that can make the Marine Corps so much better, this is just my opinion, is if it was just fair, just fair across the board. Favoritism is a big thing in the Marine Corps. Don't know why. Because when you're first brought into it and you're trained, you're taught that every Marine is treated equally and fairly, but when you actually get to the fleet, you see a bunch of crazy shit that doesn't make any sense. Like, Marines not getting in trouble for certain things, but, if another Marine does the same thing, they get the book thrown at them. Just shit like that. It's like if a Marine is in one of the inner circles, or if they're liked, that's a word I hate in the Marine Corps is liked. Like you hear it all the time. At least I hear it all the time. Like, oh, he must not like you or she must not like you. That's why she did that. It's no big deal. It's just part of the Marine Corps. People don't like you. So that's what you got to deal with. And it's like, what? How the fuck does that make any fucking sense? Liked. I have to be liked by a certain group of people in order for my life to be somewhat enjoyable and for my career to flourish. You know what I mean? Like there's certain people can make mistakes, but they kind of get swept under the rug. But somebody else who isn't liked that much, I keep looking over here thinking the camera's it's right there. Yeah, if you're not liked enough, you get fucked, But if you are liked, hey, you'll be all right. You're part of the good old boys club, so it's all good, dog. This won't ever get written down anywhere. You might, it just kind of goes away, and I think that's fucked up. It's really fucked up because I think that's another reason why a lot of Marines are getting out. Because they see how unfair it is and how certain things, and like they always like to say, perception is reality. But they don't like to look at, and when I say they, I mean typically leadership, whatever. But perception is reality, but at the same time, at least for me personally, I like to think about the human side of things. Because at the end of the day, we're all Marines. Once a Marine, always a Marine, right? But you're a fucking person too. You're a human being. You have issues. You got life issues. Everybody has life issues. So why the fuck? It's like a lot of people, they think the Marine Corps just outweighs everything. Like if you have personal issues and you're really struggling to go through something, it shouldn't matter because you're in the Marine Corps. Mission comes first, you son of a bitch. Like, that's their mentality. Like, why are you complaining about this? Oh, you got marriage issues, or you got a speeding ticket? Oh man, yeah, this guy's no good, And it's like, not to say that speeding is like an issue, but people make mistakes is what I'm getting at here, and they're not always going to make the best decisions in their personal life because, one, we're all still growing, and two, sometimes people feel like they can't go to their commands about certain things because the command is just going to turn around and be like, well, what rules did he violate in black and white? All right, so we're going to get him on that. And it's like, you can come to them and own up to your mistakes. And I'm not saying that should excuse you from anything, but at the same time, I just think the Marine Corps could be more human in their approaches towards things. And I don't mean coddling. I don't mean giving people fucking rainbow stickers and cupcakes and shit every time they go through something. It's just having some fucking compassion, just being a decent human being towards Marines, and I feel like that can go a long way, and that could bring about some positive change in the Marine Corps. And yeah, that's really my take on it, because a lot of times you see it. I've even seen it myself with being treated a certain way. Like, one example I could give you is, one time I checked into a unit, and when you check into a unit, I ain't even smoking. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, hits the spot every time, boys. But anyway, one time I checked into a unit, and true story. And I don't want to seem like I'm being petty, but anyway, I checked into the unit and couldn't get a mentor. Like, for the first 5 or 6 months, I didn't have a mentor, and I was told it was going to be this person. I would go to them, and they'd be like, no, it's going to be such and such. So I would go to that other person and be like, yeah, I was told you're going to be my mentor, because they were supposed to have one by default. So I went to the next. Long story short, I went to 3 different people. They didn't want to do my mentor. They didn't want to be my mentor for whatever reason. Brand new to the unit, never been in trouble. I checked in, uniform looks good, haircut, all that shit. I was fucking ready, you know what I mean? I fucking IP'd the shit out of I made sure I was fucking looking good when I checked out. I didn't want nobody to say shit to me about my uniform or the way I looked. But despite that, I got treated, and I don't know why. I don't want to say it's a race thing. Maybe it was, because I was like there was only one other black person in the shop. I don't know if that's what it was, but from where I'm sitting, you can see how I could like possibly see it that way, because everybody else was getting treated differently, and it's like I check in and nobody wants to take me under their wing. So I had to learn on my own, which is fine. I mean, I did it, and I got good at my job, but at the same time, it's like, why the fuck did anybody want to be my mentor? Like, why was that? What did I do to deserve that? And it's like, it's just, at the time, I was just like, man, fuck it. I'll just learn it on my own, since nobody wants to fucking do their job. And eventually, because I would counsel my Marines when I had my first duty station. I would counsel them, I'd talk to them, I would have like real genuine conversations about where they stood and where they could improve, and I would let them talk to me if they had any concerns, and it would just be an open, honest, professional discussion. And even if they had an issue with me, they could talk to me about it, and it wouldn't affect anything as far as work. I wouldn't treat them any differently. I wouldn't look at them in a certain way. It's just honest conversation, professional conversation. I was put in charge of, mentoring them and helping them progress in their careers, and I took that shit seriously. And to check into my next unit and have everybody kind of brush me off their shoulders, it was just weird. It was just weird to me. And eventually, I went into my mentorship jacket, and I found counselings with my signature forged on it. I had never been counseled, and I want to say I was there for like 3 or 4 months, and I was like, damn, I never got a counseling. I was just thinking about it. It's like, yeah, I've been trying to learn on my own, but like, so I went in my jacket one night. I stayed late, and I looked for my fucking mentorship jacket, and I fucking found it, and there was mentorships in there. Mentorships with my signature forged on it. And it was just it was literally a 1-sentence counseling, like multiple times, like get next qualification. That's all it said. Get next qualification. That was my counseling. How the fuck is that supposed to like better me if you're not even like, you're not even enough of you know what I mean? You're not enough of an adult to come to me and tell me like what to do or teach me. Like, am I supposed to just figure it out on my own? No. And that's not, you get what I'm saying? Like, they teach you, yo, Marines, we have each other's back, we help each other. But then in certain places, they don't fucking do it. And there's no real rhyme or reason to it. You're supposed to like roll over and accept it and figure it the fuck out. Like, how is that fair? How the fuck is that benefiting anybody? It's making you look bad. And then, of course, I asked about it. I was like, what are these counselings about? You know, like, how was my signature? That's not my signature. And then they're like, oh. And then they started doing the counselings months later. You know what I mean? Just completely unprovoked, like, no reason to it. Just bullshit. But, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Marine Corps is, and I know I seem like I'm bashing the Marine Corps, but I feel like a lot of these issues, they go unsaid because people are afraid of retaliation, things of that nature. But at some point, it's got to be talked about. It does. I mean, there's no fucking way that all this shit happens and everyone is just oblivious to it. They know what they're doing. It's just, man, fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna end it there. But man, craziness, right? Until next time, big dogs. More, I guess, insight on the Marine Corps. Trash.